Well, what he said was 4 paragraphs. It was very scanty. It was a populist statement, but it wasn't substantive. We have been growing cocoa for over 100 years, and we have been exporting cocoa in its raw form for over 100 years. What value have we added? It does not make sense that in this day and age, we are still producing raw materials and we export it raw. When you do not add value to the raw material, you have not increased money into the pockets of the farmers. You must be able to do what we call the value chain approach to agriculture. That you improve from the seed itself, from planting, from cultivating, to nursing it, to harvesting, and then to taking it into the factories to add value. We cannot continue to send our gold raw, our cocoa raw, our timber raw, our bauxite raw, and our leaders come to us and tell us there has been a significant improvement. Improvement in what? Improvement in what exactly? What we are saying is that the president should have come out to tell us the value that they are adding to their raw products in order to put more money into the pockets of Ghanaians, and for us to get better value on the international market for the value that we have added to the raw material. What am I talking about? If you talk cocoa, there are many byproducts of cocoa. Cocoa can be used for numerous things. But one of the things that we all know is everybody in the world loves chocolate. And chocolate comes from cocoa. And if we are among the top 3 countries that are producing cocoa, we should be among the top 3 countries that are producing chocolate and exporting it to the world. That is when we know that we have added value and we are part of the human family and we'll be able to compete well and effectively and put more money into the pockets of our people. So for there, it was very scanty. We talked about rice production, we talked about maize production. Once again, if we talk about maize production, what our farmers do not have that we need to put in place is a guaranteed market. A guaranteed market. Because any time a government says to itself that it will provide a market for its people so that the people, the farmers, will have a ready-made market, the farmers will grow more. They will increase their farmland. They will put more energy. They will risk and take loans, and they will make sure that they will be able to produce more to get more money into their pocket. We do not have a ready-made market. So we are challenging the government to say to all Ghanaians that we, starting with ourselves as government, all government functions and activities, we will use Ghana rice. We will use Ghana maize. We will use Ghana fruit juice. We will use everything that is made in Ghana, because if government itself provides the market for farmers to be able to sell their product, that is when we'll be able to see the real value that is needed for our people to get out of their state of poverty, which is one of the tenets that he was talking about, is the alleviation of poverty. You cannot alleviate poverty if you do not protect your people. And it is important. Other nations of the world, the US, the farmers are guaranteed markets. Even if they grow in excess, the government buys it and they protect the pricing so that the farmer will be able to get value. When tomato season comes in Ghana, it is all over, rotting all over. You go to the market, it's all over the floor and everything. We can be canning those tomatoes, adding value, can the tomatoes so that the farmer has a guaranteed market, it has a value chain approach, and that the end user would have added value to what they naturally get. These are the things that government needs to do to ensure that we have a better tomorrow. So what they have said, we are watching them, but the real value has not been felt in the pockets of Ghanaians. I cannot believe that he left out a whole group of people. A whole group of people who farm in the sea. They are fishing folks. They are part of the agriculture value chain. And from all the people that are along the coastal were omitted from this statement because nothing was mentioned for fisher folks. But let me tell you what he said earlier. He said that fisher folks, the fishing activity had decreased, had gone down. And part of government's remedy was that they're going to increase inland farming. Is this a remedy? Is this a remedy? We sit here where pair trawling is the order of the day. We sit here where foreign entities are sitting on our seas, scraping the bottom of our seas to the detriment of our own. When our fisher folks go out there, they do not catch fish. They do not catch fish. And you don't mention this. You didn't see fisher folks to be important to mention in the State of Nations address that the 4 paragraphs that was given to agriculture, nothing was mentioned of fisher folks. I come from a people of fisher folks, and I feel slighted that the president did not see that I was important enough to mention me in the State of the Nation address when my people are suffering every day, when they are unable to get premix to go to fishing. And when they get the premix and they go, they are not getting fishes because of government inefficiencies. Government inefficiencies. Premix has been made a political game, whereby if you don't belong to the party of the day, then you do not get access to premix. And the pricing, that is 2 cedis, 50 pesos becomes 2 cedis, 70 pesos before it gets there. And if you're not a member of the party, it is reaching 6 cedis, 7 cedis, 8 cedis. This is a real concern for a whole segment of population, millions of people who rely on the fishing industry to survive. To survive. And you cannot mention a State of the Nation address and not address those people. If we can't even get a sentence, we can't even get a sentence in the State of the Nation address, meaning that fisher folks are not important. We are irrelevant to the activities of government. And we believe that this thing must be addressed. Pair trawling must be addressed. We have a situation where now something called Saito. Fisher folks are now businessmen. They don't fish again. They get coordinates of these foreigners. They take boats, they go there and they buy the fish, a frozen fish on sea. Then they come and sell it to their people. Are they fishing? You see, the economic realities of the day and what is happening of the day, government must pay attention to. And the fact that was not mentioned shows that government is not serious about the life of fisher folks in this our great country. And that I was slighted as a fisherman coming from Ufutu, my people being fisher folks, and all the people along the coast who need help, who need support, who need assistance to be able to earn a daily living. The pre-mix situation must be opened up. It must be opened up. There must be competition, just like we have Goel, we have Shell, we have these other oil marketing companies on the market. They must have the opportunity to sell the pre-mix as we go and buy gasoline for our cars and diesel. Pre-mix should not be a preserve of party functionaries and cronies who sit there and to enlarge their own pocket and fatten themselves, create conditions that our people are unable to deal with, and access the basic things for them to get their daily bread. It is essential that we take it away, that we make it in a way that is a competitive environment. Competition drives down the price. And this is how pre-mix should be dealt with. Pre-mix should not be sent to some group of people, thugs, to sit there and determine for us how we should get fuel to go and get our daily living. So they must what? They take away the partisan activities and politics and set it up in such a way that people have access, that they have pre-mixed fuel stations along the seaside, that people can just go and buy their premix and go and do their work and go off. That is the solution. Because when we all think Ghanaian and we all think what is good for us as a people, that is when we'll be able to have a better effect on our people in terms of policy decisions and where we go. So the policy that allow party cronies and functionaries to control premix should be a thing of the past. And we are watching. We expect that this thing will be dealt with, and we will not stop in our pursuit of making sure this is done. You know, the president also mentioned about food security. Food security is not just the production of rice or the production of corn. There are different components to food security. Nutrition is an aspect of food security. 1.2 million children are undernourished in Ghana, while 14% of children are underweight. and 28% are stunted due to malnutrition. Malnutrition is a component of food security. And if you don't deal with that aspect, then you cannot tell us that there's been excess production and malnutrition and 1.2 million Ghanaians are undernourished. These are alarming statistics. And it is something that must be dealt with when you talk about a population of about 20 million and 1.4% of that population is undernourished. We need to look at that. And then you also need to talk about that there are farming households in the north that experience food insecurity 3 to 7 months of the year. We are dependent on rainfall. And when rainfall, when the thing is seasonal, in off-season, they have challenges. So that's why we are talking about the value chain approach to agriculture, irrigation systems, making sure you develop irrigation systems that can allow people to farm all year round and that they will get access to water, and good drinking water is part of food security because the malnutrition aspect. So when people brush it off, that there are some figures, and because of some figures, they are boosting and this and that. The real issue on the ground is that the people are still in such a condition that they need help. They need a government that works with a sense of urgency to make sure that they get us at this condition of decadence. And it is bad leadership that has gotten us here. And we are watching and we are hoping that they'll be able to implement some of these good policies that the PPP has come out with. The Progressive People's Party has also come up with alternative solutions to these problems. And that alternative solution is dealing with agriculture in the continuum as a holistic, as a value chain approach from the beginning to the market. That will ensure, and social infrastructure, roads, electricity, water, all of these things go hand in hand with agriculture because agriculture is not a standalone activity. It requires a multi-sectorial approach to ensuring that we are able to get what we need out of the system and the system to aid and to push us. Over 70% of our workforce is involved in agriculture. So if you do not deal with the issues of agriculture from a value chain approach, 70% of our people are left outside of the door. And of that 70%, more than 50% are women and children, the most vulnerable. And we need to know that. And there need to be specific, deliberate programs tailored at ensuring that these people will get a better conditions of life to be able to do their work effectively and have a good impact.